The word of the Lord against Damascus, or as some people say it, Damascus. Behold, Damascus will be taken away among cities and will fall, abandoned forever. It shall be a fold and resting place for sheep. No one will pursue them. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Battle Don. And this prophecy that you just heard was made by Isaiah. Now, Isaiah was on the old school prophet time where if someone steps up saying, "Thus saith the Lord," and it doesn't take place, they were subject to the death penalty. Unlike some of the, or many of the false prophets of today that say, "Thus saith the Lord," it doesn't happen, and they just can backtrack and make all kind of excuses. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to explore this prophecy in the context of my worldview warfighting architecture. So let's start with the zeitgeist. Remember, the zeitgeist basically refers to space and time. What is the space and time we're dealing with? We're dealing with 21st century West Asia, Damascus, Syria in particular. Some people like to talk about let the past be the past, but in global geopolitics, doesn't work like that. So let's give a little bit of historical context. Damascus is one of the oldest capitals on the planet. It's one of the longest continuously inhabited cities on the face of the earth. It has seen the fall of the Egyptian Empire, the rise and fall of the Babylonian Empire, the rise and fall of the Medo-Persian Empire, the rise and fall of the Greek Empire, the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. All throughout this time, Damascus has been inhabited. Now we move on to technique. Remember, technique, culture plus technology. Technologically, what do we have in the 21st century? We've got global mass communication. We've got modern warfare. Put those two together, we've got hybrid warfare. We see some of the fruits of hybrid warfare with the Ukrainian war. Now we deal with culture. We've got the four core: philosophy, religion, economics, politics. Dealing with philosophy, we're going to touch on this a little bit later. We've got Zionism and anti-Zionism. Dealing with religion, we've got Christianity, we've got Judaism, we've got Islam. Economically, the events of October 7th and the subsequent Gaza blockade and the blockade of the Gulf of Aden by the Yemenis, major economic pressure. Then we have politics. We've got three global powers on the scene: China, Russia, the United States, my country. Now let's move on to propaganda. Remember, propaganda, we've got sub-propaganda and we've got active propaganda. In active propaganda, let's start with the agitation. For decades now, there's been a Syria proxy war. This has essentially been a war between two great powers, Russia and the United States of America. Now, what prompted me to make this video? It was the attack on the Iranian consulate in Damascus, Syria. Now, Iran has been a focus of the neocon sect within my country for decades. Now, what about integration? We've got Iran join the BRICS this year. Also, the country in which the attack took place, Syria. Syria was recently admitted back into the Arab League after many years. Syria has been accepted back into the fold of the Arab League. Also, we have within the greater region, Saudi Arabia, a major player, the United Arab Emirates. Anybody been to Dubai recently? Ethiopia, accepted into the BRICS in 2024. Let's move on to wicked deception. So when this prophecy is fulfilled, and I believe that it will be fulfilled, there's going to be a lot of finger pointing. This is where philosophy comes into play. Remember, Zionism and anti-Zionism. So I'm going to lay out a few players on the board. First, we have the Jewish diaspora. All over the world, different areas. Some people within the Jewish diaspora fall into the Zionist camp. Others fall into the anti-Zionist camp. The Jewish people are not a monolith. They have differing views. Also, a player, those who adhere to British Israelism. Now, this is something that can be found in the Anglosphere. Those countries that have an affinity towards Britain, England, the English. Within these nations, you have people that adhere to derivatives of British Israelism. Gonna drop a gem right now. The William Branham Historical Research Podcast has a lot of information if you want to learn more about British Israelism and how in America, for example, it feeds into Christian identity, which aspects can be found in American evangelicism. Also, you have those people around the world, and it's as if it touches everyone, this issue of Zionism versus anti-Zionism. You have the different people around the world who fall into the anti-Zionist camp because they don't look too fondly upon Jewish people. So you have this very interesting dynamic going on in which there are Jewish people who are anti-Zionist, but they are not anti-Semitic. And you have some people who are not Jewish and they are anti-Zionist and they are anti-Semitic. Very interesting. I won't get into the weeds of the Jewish people who are anti-Semitic, but that is really a thing. So we get to revolution. We get to the purpose, the impetus, the driver of this world system: theft, death, and destruction. Let's take a look at each of those. Theft. So with Damascus being made uninhabitable, what will be stolen? Where does the theft lie? Well, it lies in a couple places. On one hand, you have the resources of Syria. With Damascus being the capital, the head, with the head being left desolate, no people living there, what's going to happen with those resources like the oil in the north? Stolen. Some would say already is being stolen. How will that proliferate? Also, the people, some 2 million that live in Damascus, those that are able to escape, to make it out, be vulnerable populations, women and children especially, human trafficking, dignity stolen. The people who take these Damascus refugees, who will stop them from doing whatever they want to do to those refugees? You can use your imagination. Death. 2 million people, like I said, living in Damascus. How many of those people will die when Damascus is rendered uninhabitable? Then destruction. By what means will Damascus be rendered uninhabitable? Will it be chemical, biological? For years we've heard rumors about chemical weapons storage, stockpiles in Syria. Would that be the means? Will it be a tactical nuke? What will the effect of a tactical nuke look like? All we have is a crude nuke used in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. How long did it take after those weapons were detonated for animals to populate and occupy? As it says in the prophecy, it shall be a fold and resting place for sheep. No one will pursue them. So no people, but animals. Animals, but no people. Can a tactical nuke achieve this? We don't know. I guess we're going to see. Then we have natural disasters, earthquakes, something that comes to mind. Will it be truly natural? Will it be the result of some exotic weapon, low frequency, electromagnetic? We have yet to see. I do believe that now is as good a time as any for this prophecy to be fulfilled. the destruction of Damascus, such that the longest inhabited city on the face of the planet will be left uninhabited. This is the battle done. Peace.